All right, can you guys hear me now? I don't know how my mic turns off by itself sometimes. It just switches off. But anyways, I appreciate y'all for letting me know in the comment section. Appreciate it for sure. But so DXY, like I was saying, um, price where it had previously rejected off of when it was making its bullish move. Let's go into the daily time frame. It rejected off of here, then retraced, then went bullish. Once price had went bullish, it retraced and came and rejected off of this zone. Went bullish again, and then retraced back down to the 61.8 zone, and then went bullish again. So at this point, I'm like, all right, DXY, you either gonna do one or two things. You're either gonna reject from here, or not even one or two things. It's gonna either go a little bit more bullish to do a stop hunt, fall, retest, continuation to the downside, or it's gonna fall from where it's at right now, or it's gonna keep going bullish. And so, like, honestly speaking, I wouldn't try. Let me even go into the 1 hour time frame. Honestly speaking, I wouldn't try to buy here. Absolutely not. Like, absolutely, I would not try to buy here because, like I said, price could just literally reject off of this weekly zone. Ooh, I do not like this vibe. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Look, I kind of like it, but I'm not down for it like that. I'm not looking for no sleeper. There you go. All right. So yeah, weekly time frame. This is still holding here, but I'm not trying to just hop in a buy or a sell here because as far as I'm concerned, price is still very much bullish, and it can just keep going bullish from here. So like trying to buy it isn't really advisable unless you have like a stop hunt. Like, I don't know, like, you know what I mean, like, as in, like, if you have a stop hunt for you other USD pairs that, like, going to like a buy stop or a sell stop, like, I don't know, I would rather play it safer like that rather than trying to just sell it right now. I mean, on the 30-minute time frame, it is calling for a sell, but that's on the 30-minute time frame, so it's not really that reliable. Weekly time frame is still holding at this upper danger zone, but it looks like it's just about to keep going bullish, quite honestly. Same thing with the daily. It looks like it's just going to keep going bullish right now. 4 hour time frame, same thing. It's holding above the upper danger zone and the RSI line, so I don't expect it to sell. So yeah, guys, I'm not really looking for sells on the DXY. I expect this to keep going bullish, quite honestly. And so likewise with Euro USD. I was saying, hey, if Euro USD is gonna go bullish, let me go into the 4 hour time frame. I was saying if Euro USD is gonna go bullish, then for me to get in, I would have to wait for something like this to play out, right? The breakout to the upside, retest, continuation. That was the only way that I was gonna look to try to get into a Euro USD buy. And I was also saying the exact same opposite for Euro USD, right? Like from this bullish move, from this bearish move, the retracement, it came up to the 61.83 times. I wasn't trading yesterday because I was driving for like 12 hours, coming from Calgary to back to home. But yeah, this is the same thing. Breakout, retest. I expect this to keep falling. Like, I mean, although this is an area where if it does hold, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes bullish, but it's still not the greatest look to me, quite honestly. So if you flip it around, you can see prices already came to the 71%. Currently, it's at the 61.8 fib. Quite honestly, if I were to have gone into this buy right here, let me see if stop loss would have been at break even. So stop loss would have been below that low. Wait, hold on. Stop loss would have been below that low. Take profit up here. A 20 pip stop loss basically. And then how far did the price go bullish? All right, so yeah, I would have moved my stop loss would have been moved at break even by now. I mean, this is my thing, right? Euro USD, it could definitely go. It could definitely go bullish. But my thing is that it hasn't made any, like, it hasn't broken any bearish structure to tell me that this is going to continue going bullish. Like, I would need it to break this structure up at 1.16400, basically, for me to feel comfortable trying to get into a buy. Like, once it breaks through that high that retraces, that's when I'll look to get into a buy. I mean, right now it's not a bad play. Even getting in at the 61.8 or at this 71% fib is not a bad move necessarily. It's just that, again, with the DXY, it could just literally keep going bullish, which would then make EU just keep going bearish. So that's something you want to watch out for. 30-minute time frame, it is holding at this lower danger zone, so that could be a possibility. And again, the 30-minute time frame, it did call for a buy, just like how the DXY is calling for a sell, but it's not looking that solid. It's not looking that great for me. So yeah, I wouldn't try to get into any buys quite yet on EU either. It's just a little risky. I'm not trying to risk it for the biscuit like that. I'd rather see if there's any other setups. And hey, if this, I'm gonna keep this as a watch. As in I'm watching it, but I don't really have that much, especially with the two candlesticks, the 2 hourly candlesticks that just popped up. I don't have much faith that this is gonna go bullish. And also, I mean, let's just go ahead and draw this out down here. Yeah, I'm not really crazy over this buy, quite honestly, but we'll see what happens nonetheless. Let's see how this bear flag plays out, because that's all I'm seeing here. It's a bear flag. If I go into the 4-hour time frame, that's all I'm seeing here. So I mean, hey, playing the bear flag might actually be a better play on the on EU rather than trying to buy it, because I honestly don't think that that's like this. It's gonna call for, I don't think it's gonna be a buy move, but we'll see what happens, right? Hide it, but overall, I'm more feeling the sells than anything. So like a drop, retest, continuation type of vibe. That's why I'm feeling more on EU than anything else, quite honestly. So we'll see what happens here though. AUD/USD though, on the other hand, is taking off, man. And I mean, like I mentioned, that I've been in this swing buy, but I was saying that, oh, you might want to look to take like some partial profits, because it's at a zone where it could definitely fall from, but it's still going bullish. It's still going pretty strong. Currently up about 181 pips, risk 120 pips, I think. So that was a pretty solid move. Going on to the 4-hour time frame. Since this is so bullish, I'm kind of like, from this high to this low, as much as it's just really bullish, just like how with EU, I'm looking for bearish moves. This could definitely be stopping for a potential come up to the 71% and then start to retrace back to, or not retrace, but continue to the downside. Because realistically speaking, this has, I mean, it's broken the structure here, but again, this could still just stall right here at 0.73895 and then continue falling. So this is something that I'm going to be watching out for on AUD/USD. Is what is it going to do at this supply zone here? I'm not trying to sell it because, not necessarily trying to sell it, but I'm also not trying to get into any additional buys until if I see price come back down to like 0.72433 type of vibe, you know, so, or something like that. But not really necessarily crazy over the sells. And oh man, I'm just noticing that there was a head and shoulders here. Well, basically head and shoulders. There. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, bullish move. So wouldn't need a retest regardless for me to try to get into additional buy moves. But again, this supply zone is something that I'm going to be watching out for on AU before I decide like, okay, maybe I'll get into a sell or anything like that. Just back up to this previous zone as well, or this previous supply zone again, like I mentioned. Price pushed down from there and then made another supply. So I was like, this is definitely an area of interest for AU for potential shorts. But as of right now, especially with this daily time frame, the way how the daily is looking for these bulls, you definitely do not want to try to try to sell against this, in my opinion. Not yet, at least. So that's for AU. It's going on. I'm pretty sure everything on here is bullish. 1 hour time frame, very much bullish. 4 hour, very much bullish. Daily time frame, it has not called for a buy yet, but it is what it is. And the weekly time frame, just doing its move to the upside. So we're gonna see what happens. But again, AUD/USD is coming to an area where you can expect some resistance and from some retracements, because again, price, I mean, even off of just technical analysis, but right here on RB, you have the mean line, the compass line, and the momentum line. All three of these lines right here where prices are slowly approaching. So we'll see what happens with AUD/USD for any potential retracements, because again, it's according to, like I said, like how the USD looks right now, it might be trying to turn around very shortly. We'll see. UCHF never came up to this zone like how I wanted it to. It's just been consolidating. But I'm gonna flip this around. So from this low to this high, price has been rejecting in this. Hold on. I'm not so sure about this bearish move anymore, to be quite honest with you. I'm still gonna leave this here to see what price will do once it gets up here. But as of right now, I'm more bullish on UCHF right now, just because of you know, price. Like again, the DXY looks like it wants to go bullish. It wants to continue going bullish. And if that's the case, USDXXX pairs, I'm kind of feeling like they're gonna go bullish, like as in USDCHF, USDJPY, USD CAD. Yeah, those pairs I'm expecting them to go bullish because the dollar wants to go bullish, right? And again, price has been rejecting off of this zone here from this high. It came to the 71% once, went bullish, come to these equal highs, then came back down, came to the 71% again, and now it's going bullish. It's currently rejecting off of that 50 EMA on the 4 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame, however, it looks like it's just doing its thing and it's gonna keep going bullish. So some opportunities have been missed, or some opportunities have already played out. And at this point, like I mean, for me personally speaking, this looks. I wouldn't want to say to try to get into a buy at these levels. I would rather get them down here, but I think this is going to continue going bullish today. That's just my take on UCHF. And again, I would want to see what price ends up doing once it comes up to the supply zone, if it ends up getting up there. But yeah, we'll see what goes down. Like I said, the play's already happened, and it looks like it's just going to keep going much higher. Not looking at the weekly right now. Daily time frame still rejecting off of this upper danger zone. 4 hour time frame. Oh yeah, the 4 hour called for this buy right here. Price is currently above the RSI line. Let me get rid of that. 1 hour time frame, I'm pretty sure it's bullish. Yeah. Called for the buy down here. So yeah, I expect this to really go bullish. It's just that at the prices, at the risk reward isn't that fantastic for whatever trade I'll get into. So that's just one thing that I'm watching out for. Again, the opportunity's already missed, so just wait for a different opportunity to present itself. But this does look like it's gonna go bullish to me. Okay, so going over to tacos. I'm glad I didn't get into this. Price ended up coming and making a double top. It was at the sell box for a little bit. It was rejecting, but it ended up falling to the downside. If you would have ended up taking that trade, it would have been a loss. But hey, that's why I said I'm glad I didn't get in. And even the way how price is looking, it was just consolidating. I might have gone out, quite honestly. But yeah, I mean, with USD Mexican at this point, I kind of have to be bullish on it because it is above this zone that I was worried that it was gonna not be above. And since the DXY again, I think is gonna go bullish, it might be a good time for this to continue going to the upside as well. So I mean, type of play that I might do with USD Mexican is really have a buy stop, like around here or something like that. And if I get into this, it's going to be a small stop loss, no cap. My stop loss would probably be under those lows, and then so yeah, my buy stop would be at 20.94139, and I probably just end up taking it up to these equal highs right here, or something like that. Looks like a solid play. So 1 to 2.65 risk reward ratio. If I were to get into this though, but I'm not so certain that I would place a buy stop. Buy stops aren't really my thing like that, but still something that I might try to do, you know. So that's for USD Mexican. Like I said, since I was hoping that it was just gonna like consolidate in here for a little bit, but since it's broken out to the upside, all I can really see is a continue going to the upside. So arbitrage. 1 hour time frame is looking like it might call for a sell here, so that's one thing to watch out for. But again, with how the DXY is, I wouldn't try it personally. 4 hour time frame, very much bullish. Daily time frame, very much bullish. And then the weekly time frame finally is barely about to call for a buy this week. So I would need a retracement on RB if I wanted to get into this, but I don't think it's gonna happen, quite honestly. Oh wow. I'm over here bleeding on my leg for some. I must have picked a scab or something. Whatever. So yeah, that's USD Mexican. Like, I'm glad that I was only watching it and never got in it. So yeah, let's see what happens with this though. If the buy stop ends up playing out, I'll actually set that out in the channel and be like, yo, this happened, so let's see what's good. All right, Goldilocks, everybody's favorite. All right, so gold, still waiting on this to play out. Hold up, right here. Still waiting on this move to play out right here. Price that came back down to this 71% at 1723, went bullish. I want the retracement still to come through. What I was saying on the analysis last week was after this bearish move right here, I kind of wanted to, not even kind of, I wanted to see if price was going to come back up, like as in this type of play where it comes up to 1772 and then comes down to 1737 to then continue going bullish. That's what I was. Let me go ahead and hide this right here. This is what I've been keeping my eye on, and price has been like consolidating pretty nicely at this small resistance that it's at. Let me just put this right here so that you guys can see it, this resistance. But again, I would rather it come up to like 1772 or 1769 for me to get into a potential sell to the downside. That's what I would work for personally. But overall, gold, it's just been consolidating on the 1 hour time frame. Well, actually until this morning where it broke out a little bit to the upside. But again, I'm not really trying to get into any buys with gold. with me seeing this type of move right here, it just makes me feel like gold is just gonna keep dropping even lower. So I'm just seeing what 1772 is gonna look like, and then I'll probably end up getting into a sell there. There, add alert, and we'll see what happens once price gets to that level, or if it gets to that level, I'll see what it does regarding price action. And I mean, like I said, I'm probably gonna end up selling that, quite honestly. So we'll see what goes down with Goldilocks. Okay, S&P. Oh wow, I missed my opportunity here. I did not know the S&P came this low. Well, this was the opportunity that I had called on. Dang, it really did all of that. That's crazy. I was not looking at these indices at all. Prices already came down to this 71% fib. I expected to continue going bullish. I mean, that was my play. I don't know why I didn't set alerts for it. I mean, even if I did, I probably wouldn't have gone in regardless. So, I mean, right now, if this can play out for me, where like on the lower time frames, like on the 15-minute or whatever, or 5-minute, if I can get like lower time frames for a price to come and then come back down to like 4341 or something like that for S&P, I'll continue buying it. Like, let's go into the 5-minute time frame so I can explain it a little better. So from this low to this high, let me get rid of this real quick. Oops, I don't even know why that's red, to be quite honest with you. It should be blue. So something like this, where where price is going bullish, if it stops right up here, 4340 would be my entry, and then for it to continue going bullish. However, if price just keeps going bullish from here, then it is what it is. The play has been made, and again, it's still holding at this swing buy area. So it's not a bad area to be looking to buy at. You know, it's not a necessarily terrible area pricing even right now to buy at. It's just that I would rather get better pricing if price had dropped and then continue going bullish. Yeah, I just saw your GEP JPY. Yeah, absolutely, bro. That's gonna be closer to the end after I do the cryptos. So I'll go ahead and take a look at that for you, though. So S&P, like I said, if I can get that retracement, I might get in for it to keep going bullish, but it is holding under this 50 EMA, and the way how price dropped is pretty fast, but it did break some bearish structure. So I'm just like, okay, this definitely looks like, I'll just be like, all right, so yeah, we'll see what happens on that end, you know. So hold on, before I do Dow Jones, SPX 500 weekly time frame, daily time frame is currently under the lower danger zone, so that's something that I'm like kind of iffy on the buys. 4-hour time frame, it's under the RSI line, so I'm kind of iffy on the buys here as well. And the 1-hour time frame hasn't even called for a buy yet, so I'm just like, might want to be careful with the buys on this play. But I never got into S&P or Dow Jones. I never got into either of those. But let's see what Dow Jones is, what I was talking about on Sunday. Oh wow, Dow Jones, that's what we're doing here. That is hilarious. So price ended up stopping me. Like, well, if I would have gotten into this trade, price would have ended up stopping me out and then dropping right after. Isn't that hilarious? That's why sometimes I say put your stops above the equal highs, but it is what it is. That's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But I mean, again, I wasn't able to get in it, but that is a tough pill to swallow. I'd rather for US 30. So this is a thing that I'm probably gonna have to play US 30 rather than S&P, because it hasn't came down to my It hasn't came down to my 71% Fibonacci level yet, so that's something I'll be waiting for at 34183 or 34177, whichever one comes first. And then that's when I'll probably look to buy it. But if it rejects off of the 61.8 and then just goes bullish from there, who am I to say that no, it's not going to go bullish, right? So it's kind of the same play off of the 5-minute time frame. If this retraces and holds like at 34365.2, I might take the buy. Like it won't be a bad move, honestly. But we'll see what happens, because again, price has rejected off of this supply zone right here, and if it holds, then I do expect it to continue going bearish. So I mean, and it's a big supply zone. Like, it's a big supply zone. It's rejected off of, well, I mean, it didn't make equals there, but it rejected off of this low right here, then came to the 71% and fibbed off of and rejected off of that very nicely. And it would have given another opportunity for a sell right up here as well. So, yeah, definitely, I don't know, with US 30 at this point, it's kind of like, oh, well, I'm just consolidating from between this high and these lows, these highs, these lows. I'm just consolidating at this point. That's what it looks like, right? But overall, this thing is very much bullish, and if it rejects on these, if it rejects off of this 61.8, then yeah, it's gonna go bullish. So just going over to arbitrage real quick, and it's the same thing. 1 hour time frame hasn't gone for a buy. 4 hour time frame, it's right at that RSI line. So if it closes above, I'd be bullish. If it closes below, I'd be more bearish. Daily time frame still looking pretty bearish, rejecting off of that RSI line. So I'm kind of low-key salty, although I didn't get into the trade, that it played me like that. If I would have gone into it, low-key salty about that. All right, yo, Bitcoin been going crazy, man. Bitcoin has been going wild, right? So daily time frame still got some pumping that Bitcoin is doing. But again, my analysis hasn't changed a single bit. It's still holding at the supply zone. Want to see what it's gonna do at the supply zone in the rest of the week type of vibe. Not really jumping into anything quite yet, just gonna be patient. And yeah, just holding this. Like, I had the same analysis as I had on Sunday. So if you don't know what that looks like, you can go ahead and go check it out. The previous video on the YouTube channel. But yeah, I have the exact same, like, oh, supply zones, want to see what it does. I'm not gonna try to buy at a supply zone because I've done that before and it's been nothing but like trouble. So see what happens. If we miss the right to all-time highs, oh well. That's my thought process. I'm like, oh well, it is what it is. 1 hour time frame, setting up for potential sell, but not quite yet. 4 hour time frame, it looks like it might be setting up, but it's not ready. This is what I'll be waiting for. Breakout, retest, continuation. Daily time frame looks like daily time frame actually looks like it might be starting to, it might correct soon, because these aren't pointing as to the upside as they usually would be for me to say that, oh, I think this is going to continue going bullish. But it's way too early to tell, so I'm not even going to try it. And the weekly time frame, this might be the week that it calls for a buy, but we'll see what happens at the end of the week. So that's for Bitcoin. Ripple, well, Ripple is playing out off of the 61.8. I wanted 1.25500, but off of the 61.8 from that fib, it's playing out pretty nicely. So I'm like, dang. Still wanting to see what it's gonna do if it comes up to 1.25503, and if it doesn't, then I would just be like, yeah, it's probably gonna end up just making a lower low at that point. But we'll see what happens with Ripple as well. Ethereum, I had mentioned that I was in sales up here at 3,653. I'm still in those sales, playing out nicely. Had opportunities to get into that, and so yeah, again, this is still holding at the supply zone. I still have the exact same exact same bias on these cryptos, guys. Nothing's really changed for me, quite honestly. Bitcoin, it has been pumping, but again, I need to see what this supply zone does. Even if it just breaks out and it comes up to like 58, 59,000, 60,000, I'm not gonna be buying. Like, no way. It's just not for me. It is what it is. If it comes up to these highs and tries to make all-time highs, maybe I'll get a buy stop in. But I'm not gonna get a buy stop in at these equal highs right here, because I mean, price can just literally come up here, grab some liquidity real quick, and do a move like this, and then end up falling. So, still waiting. Still gonna see what bitty Bitcoin's gonna do. Ripple, like I said, it played out. I didn't get into that, unfortunately. And Ethereum is still doing its thing. Let me look at Ripple. Dang, this would have been a nice RV play. Played myself. 4-hour time frame, setting up for a buy, but I would need a retracement back up to at least 1.24, at least 1.2500, at least. And daily time frame rejected off of that upper danger zone, but I would not try to get into that buy, quite honestly. So, oh, reject, still bullish off of that, but still looks like it might be setting up for a sell. So let's see what happens with these cryptos. Going over to Ethereum. Bearish. I like seeing that for my sell that I'm in. I had mentioned this in the next wave chat that I wanted to see the breakout retest continuation to the downside. That's exactly what's playing out on RB. And then daily time frame been rejecting at this upper danger zone. So yeah, let's see what goes down with these cryptos at the end of this week, at the end of this month, really. But yeah, this sell that I mentioned is still very much valid. I mean, even if you're trying to like sell it for a swing type of move, it's still above the 61.8 at the supply zone, so it's not necessarily a bad play. But again, it's just, you want to watch out for that. All right, so Suresh, I'm gonna go ahead and look at GBP JPY for you before I look at the others. Oh wow. Okay, so first of all, let's get rid of this head and shoulders here, because that is definitely not valid any longer. Weekly time frame is very much bullish. The daily time frames, well, this thing looks like it's gonna keep going and break these highs. Wait, hold on, let me look on the weekly. Yo, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, because there is this liquidity that can grab to the upside, quite honestly. But man, I mean, I would love if it rejects right where it's at right now and goes to and pushes to the downside, because if it does, I'm getting into that sell, like no cap. But again, the possibility of price coming back up and like just doing a stop hunt to the upside. I mean, price hasn't been up at these highs for a while. Like the last time like it came up here, it was on the 31st of May, and even with that, like the last time that it's been up at these highs was back in 2018. So this is definitely a very strong zone that we have to watch out for. And so again, I want to see what it does at these highs right here, but I'm not gonna try to buy this. Although it does look like it's gonna keep going bullish, I would have to wait for some type of realistically, I would have to wait for some type of pattern, or I would want to see if this is gonna be a stop hunt right here. If this is a stop hunt and then it does something like that, that'd be a little better for me. Like it just stops onto the upside, then drops, retests, it continues, that would be fire. But as of right now, like my entry that I would have wanted to get into if I would have bought would have been 153.830, but I definitely did not hop into that. I would have to, again, same thing here. I was saying the same exact thing here. Like if price comes up here, I would want it to break out and fall to the downside and retest before I get in it. So nothing's really changed for me. It's just that price is now just higher. You know, so but again, these are levels that it could potentially fall down to. It's at the 78.6. If you get some rejections over here, that's a sniper. So we'll see what happens. I'm definitely I'm gonna be watching this morning, but as of right now, I wouldn't try to get in it, quite honestly. If you're looking for sells, if you're looking for buys, even with the buys, I'd be very careful with the buys. All right, GPUSD. Man, this has been one of the most stubborn, or this is the most stubborn I've seen GU in a while, right? So I had mentioned on the Sunday analysis that I was gonna wait for a stop hunt on London session on Monday morning in CST. Wait for London session for the stop hunt to the upside, which price did, and then it ended up falling. Did I get in the sell? No, I wasn't paying attention. But yeah, I like that sell that it did. The retracement, if it does make a retracement this morning, which it so happens that that's what it looks like it's doing. And if it comes back up to like 1.36371, quite honestly, I'm gonna get in, or even 1.36341. I'm gonna get into this sell. Like, I do believe that this sell is gonna rock. Like, I still do feel that way. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be. I mean, even at these prices, for more prices for a swing trade. Even if like this is just the intraday type of vibe that I'm looking for, like 1.36441 would be my entry. But even for like a swing sell, like this is a good entry or these prices for a swing sell is pretty nice. But again, the amount of pips that I would be missing out on if I just got in where prices at currently, that's 20 pips. That's a pretty good amount. So I'd rather wait for a little bit higher move before a drop. But I'm definitely watching for this GU. GA. Did I get in this buy with GA when I mentioned that, I might get into this buy? No, because again, I was in this AUD USD buy, and I'm like, ooh, GA. I was looking at it and I was like, do I want to get into this buy? By the time I was already trying to get in, price had already like been up here, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting in at this point. And I'm glad I didn't, because price ended up coming right back down and then retraced a little bit higher, then just it went to hell. So overall, I'm still kind of ecstatic that this was the play that played out nice, that is playing out. And at this point, I just kind of have to say that's gonna be what it is. I would have to wait if I were to get in. If I were to try to get into a GA sell, I would have to wait for the retracement before trying to get into the sell. But this looks like it's just going to keep falling unless it's going to hold at this buy box. Because this buy box has been here for quite some time. It's been from this low to this high. So we'll see if this could possibly hold here. If there was a place where GA, I would wait. I'd think that it would hold. It'd be here, because I mean, the last time that it was here was like September 3rd, and now it's back down to these lows. But I wouldn't try to buy it. It looks more bearish to me than bullish. But again, AUD USD, it is coming up to the supply zone. If it rejects here, I expect it to fall. So the exact opposite is with GA. It is at this demand zone, because that's what this buy box is at the end of the day. And if it holds at this buy box, then it's gonna go bullish. So I'm gonna watch this too. I'm watching some. I have some pairs that I'm keeping my eye on. That's good. I'm glad that I have those pairs that I'll keep my eye on. But yeah, I forgot to look at arbitrage for all three of these GBP pairs. So I'm gonna just look at them all right now. The daily time frame, the weekly time frame, looks like it's holding at that upper danger zone. So that's something that you could definitely watch out for, as that could be used as a support. Price is currently from this sell. Man, this sell was nice. It's at the second deviation, so that's something that it's holding right there. That could be a possible support, but that's way too early to tell for a potential buy. 4-hour time frame, it looks like it might be wanting to go out of bounds, but it could literally hold where it's at. And 1 hour time frame, same thing. Did the second deviation, not really setting up for a buy quite yet. It's way too early to tell, but some buy opportunities may be presenting itself, not gonna lie. So like I said, if I were to buy GA, it'd have to be now, but it'd have to be off of a swing, and my stop loss would be down all the way at 1.82283. Not so sure if I want to get into a swing trade quite yet. So that's on GA. GU, currently at this upper danger zone, but it's been consolidating, so I don't want to trade off of the 1 hour or the 4 hour time frame, because the 4 hours been consolidating just as much. Although I did call for a buy, but still, I'm not trying to get into that. And the daily time frame is still very much bearish on GU, just like how the weekly time frame is still very much bearish on GU. So again, I wouldn't try to get into buys on GU, quite honestly. And then with GBP/JPY, this thing is just bullish everywhere, including the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, it looks like it's about to call for a buy shortly, and it wasn't even confirmed because the momentum line never crossed through. So that's something that is with GJ as well, that it could just keep going, making higher highs. But again, if it holds at these, oh man, look at it's already gone higher than when I was looking at it a couple minutes ago. So yeah, I would just definitely be patient on GJ and see if it comes back down. But the sells is what I'm mostly looking at, because I'm also looking at sells for GU. Alright, let's go over to EG. I don't know why this isn't green. Alright, so I'm still in this sell, and I'm still saying the same thing with EG, although I do not like how it just wicked my entry on the 4 hour time frame. If it holds at this zone right here that I've drawn out, this support, if you will. If it holds here, I'm still looking for the buys, but I kind of see at this point a stop hunt happening, then it does this. I kind of foresee that playing it out, but I'm still gonna hold the sell. I mean, I'm already in it, and I'm already in this drawdown, so I'm just gonna end up holding it. If you wanted to extend your stop loss, you can definitely do that and put it beneath these lows right here, because I don't think that it'll come down to these lows, especially since GJ is going to work like this, but EG is still holding. So that's, yeah, I would definitely say you could I would still hold the buys until my stop loss gets hit, quite honestly. Like, or maybe even right here, take partial losses, 50%, and then if price comes back up to your entry, you can go ahead and get right back in, type of thing, you know. But as of right now, it's not looking that great, and it's totally fine. This weekly time frame it's still been getting rejected, as I've been mentioning. Daily time frame still very much bearish. 4 hour time frame, still gotta wait for that breakout, retest, continuation for me to try to get into that RB play. And the 1 hour time frame, I called for the buy up here, but this is just an ugly looking buy to me. So with that being said, I'm not really crazy over how EG is looking for buy opportunities, but I'm still holding the buy that I've been in. You know, like once my stop loss gets hit, then I'll be out to trade. Or I'm looking to like take half losses here, and then if I do get like a stop hunt-ish to the low and then breakout, retest, continuation, that'll be the buy. So with that being said, on EG, and that being it for my watch list, is there any other pairs that anybody wants me to look at? Let me see what EU is looking like right now. While I wait for responses, I'll go ahead and take a look at these. Yeah, I think this is going to keep going bullish. USD Mexican, if I were to buy it, this low to this high, if I were to buy it, it's not looking terrible at where it's at right now, quite honestly, for a buy. Gold, I don't think this is going to get up here, but we'll see. That's what I'd have to wait for me to get in. S&P looks like it might just take off, and if it does, it is what it is. Same thing with US 30. Bitcoin still holding it that low. So yeah, all right. Well, if that's the case, then I will go ahead and catch y'all later. GU is at that 61.8, so just watch out for that. But with that being said, later, y'all. Hope y'all have a good day. If I see any setups and I wanted to say like, oh, I'm gonna get into this, I will let y'all know on the channel or in the group chats.